Nikki Anne Marie is the token gamer girl of HuniePop. She's not some Candy Crush basic bitch either, as she plays fighting games, arcade machines, and even MMOs. Although I hate using the word, I cannot deny that Nikki is in fact a gamer. Unfortunately, because of her gamer status, many players of HuniePop have this misconstrued idea that people like Nikki because she's the cute gamer chick. I'm here today to tell you that this is simply not true. Well, not all of it. See, although some people may love the fact that Nikki plays games and are drawn to her character because of it, it's only a part of the reason as to why people actually like Nikki. It's not like Nikki fans would suddenly love Audrey if she played video games, because Audrey would still have her many flaws and characteristics that a majority of Nikki fans do not find appealing. Nikki's gaming hobby is just the yummy icing on top of the cake of reasons as to why people like Nikki. So why do people like Nikki? Or more specifically, why do you like Nikki? The appeal of Nikki Anne Marie can be hard to pinpoint at first glance. She doesn't have that many appealing traits. She hates people, despises going out anywhere, is incredibly boring, pretty narrow-minded, gullible, and has very little self-confidence. With all of these negative traits and very few actual appealing characteristics, why does anybody like Nikki? Well, what if I told you that these negative traits are the appealing characteristics for Nikki? That all these supposedly negative traits are exactly the kind of qualities Nikki fans would love to see in a real girl. But why is that? Well, let's start off with the fact that Nikki hates people. She's an introvert who will aggressively avoid meeting new people and making new friends. However, in HuniePop, you actually manage to break through her barrier, and once on the other side, you'll be hard-pressed to find anybody else there. Now think. What's the appeal of being Nikki's only friend while knowing that she'll most likely make no more outside of you? She won't leave you. Nikki won't find a better guy than you because her personality won't allow it. She'll never have plans with other people because she doesn't know any other people. If anybody did try to make a move on her, then her aggressiveness will repel them. You'll be the only one Nikki likes, and the only one she'd want to hang out with no other contenders for her love in sight. What about the fact that she doesn't like going out? Where's the possible upside there, I hear you ask? Well, if she doesn't like going out, then where, oh where, would she like to hang out with you? Somewhere indoors that she likes a lot, somewhere where there's no risk of interacting with strangers, somewhere private, like her house, or to be more specific, her room. Nikki's favorite hangout, where you'll most likely play video games or watch movies together alone with no interruptions. No worries about figuring out where to go together because to Nikki, just hanging out in her room is more than good enough. A perfect location to be together where you don't have to worry about people or closing times, transportation, or even figuring out what to do. She likes video games and you like video games. Go wild, no effort required. Moving on, if you didn't know, being boring is a pretty big theme with Nikki's character. She doesn't care about her birthdays or parties, the way she talks is incredibly unenthusiastic. She's the polar opposite to Audrey when it comes to caring about having fun, and her favorite color is beige. Fucking beige! Do you know the good thing about Nikki being so boring? You don't have to worry about making her bored. No girl likes to hang out with a boring guy, but Nikki's standards for what is fun is so low that you don't have to worry about it. Keeping her entertained is as easy as just playing video games with her. Are you noticing the general theme here yet? Continuing on, Nikki being narrow-minded is a pretty big advantage for you. She thinks that anybody who goes to a party is a douchebag. This shows how she likes to make big generalizations of who people are based on what they do. This means that if you're an introvert and play classic video games like Nikki, then congratulations! In her mind, you've been generalized as someone who's just like her, and she'll believe it as long as you tell her you are. This segues nicely into probably her most obvious upside of the characteristics on my list. Nikki is incredibly gullible. See, Nikki can ask the player if they have any secrets. Anybody with an IQ over 34 will know that nobody is secret-free and that anybody who says otherwise is lying. Not Nikki. If you tell her that you've got nothing to hide, she'll believe it like the innocent little girl she is. It's easy to impress a girl when she'll believe most of what you'll say about yourself. Last but not least, Nikki has very low self-confidence. She has to constantly make disclaimers explaining how she's not good at dates or sex. She's surprised that you actually want to go on a date with her in the first place, and feels bad whenever you give her gifts. As a result of this low self-confidence, Nikki probably never expected herself to actually be in a relationship with anyone. She's happy enough just to be in a relationship at all and thinks that her relationship with you is probably the only one she'll ever get in her life. Nikki's low self-confidence, combined with all other characteristics listed, forms what is the main appeal of Nikki. She's a desperate girl with low standards. Very low standards. Nikki doesn't exactly have a long list of potential candidates for lovers. Her criteria for hangout spots and activities are way too limited for your average person. She thinks that most people are douchebags who never want to be with her. She's desperate enough to believe obvious lies from the first guy she gets with, and she doesn't even think she'd be all that good in a relationship. Nikki has low standards because she thinks she can't afford high standards. However, that doesn't exactly answer why you like Nikki, so let me spell it out. Low self-confidence from Nikki means a low amount of effort required from you. Nikki will take anything. She doesn't care about looks, and as long as you don't do any stupid Chad shit, she'll love you. Who needs to look good, have a charismatic personality, or be an interesting person at all? You're none of those things, and Nikki will still accept you because she thinks she doesn't have a choice. You know the worst part? You want her because you're just like her, a boring introvert with low self-confidence. You know that the only standards you could ever match up to are no standards. You know that you have no chance with most girls because they have expectations. Expectations that take too much effort for you to ever even try to match. So you settle for Nikki because Nikki's practically non-existent standards are the only standards you'll ever be able to meet. And she's not even real. How pathetic. And that, dear viewer, is why you like Nikki. Or maybe you just like cute girls with blue hair, I don't know.